Hello, and welcome to the second of two videos on the Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Tennyson. This video explores how the author uses language, structure and form in the poem. To be successful, you need to have a copy of the poem in front of you to annotate, and you will also want to pause the video to help take notes. So how does the author use language and imagery in the poem? Let's start by describing the voice. The voice is patriotic, but it's also breathless and excited. It really helps to convey the sense of movement and action. The speaker could be an excited observer, a proud British patriot at home, or they could also be critical of the generals. Read the poem again and think to yourself, why did Tennyson write it? And what type of voice does he create? Tennyson's use of repetition is significant, and it's one of the main ways in which he uses language in the poem. A good example of this is the anaphora. Anaphora is when you start every line with a similar phrase or couple of words. For example, half a league, half a league, half a league. Cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, cannon behind them. There is anaphora in every stanza of the poem. The first quotation shown here conveys a sense of unstoppable movement. It helps to convey the horses and their energy, whereas the second helps to reinforce the men are trapped, almost as if each line represents a different side, penning them in. Have a look through the poem. How does repetition help Tennyson to tell his story? One of the most significant images in the poem is the recurring image of the mouth of hell, or the jaws of death. On one level, this personifies the horror of war, making it appear like the valley the men charge into is like charging into death itself. But it also implies a religious theme, which is appropriate in a poem written during the Victorian era. When the men ride out of the mouth of hell and out of the jaws of death at the end, perhaps the implication is those that have died have gone to heaven. Another significant image is the use of brittle and violent words. Shattered and sundered. The onomatopoeia of this recreates the noise and the results of a battle. Tennyson also uses images of violent weather throughout. We hear how the cannon stormed and thundered. It's almost as if the Light Brigade are the victims of an angry god. So how does Tennyson use structure and form in the poem? Tennyson structures his poem using an almost unstoppable rhythm and a very regular rhyme scheme. The rhythm gives the poem the energy of a horse at charge. You can almost hear the hooves as you read. The rhyme helps to keep us moving forward, as if the reader can't turn back. Read through the poem again. There is definitely excitement in this rhythm, but does Tennyson also convey a sort of reckless madness? That conflict can make us do things that are against our better judgment. Perhaps leading to our own downfall. The poem definitely celebrates the heroism of the brigade. And it celebrates it celebrates the heroism of Great Britain. We don't ever focus on an individual character. Have a look at how the enemy are portrayed in the poem. Don't forget that the Light Brigade lost this battle, but we don't really get a sense of this from the poem. Have a look at stanza 4. It's easy to mistake the loss for a victory. And finally, who's to blame? Tennyson includes a critical line, which tells the reader that someone had blundered. Who is this someone? Perhaps it's a general who sent the men to charge to their certain deaths. What does this suggest about the difference between soldiers and their commanders in conflicts?